Welcome to SA News Weekly News Update. We'll cover the top stories from across the United States, important developments worldwide, and new insights from the world of health and science.
A new investigation by the Associated Press has brought attention to a disturbing increase in suicide deaths among people held in U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody. According to the report, at least 10 detainees have died by suicide since January 2025, with several of those deaths occurring in recent months. The investigation found that suicides now account for a significant share of deaths in ICE custody during this period. The report examined cases across different types of facilities, including privately run detention centers, county jails, and federal detention sites. It described concerns around delayed mental health screenings, limited access to care, isolation practices, language barriers, and failures in monitoring people who may have been at risk. Many of the detainees who died were held for short periods before their deaths, raising questions about intake procedures and how quickly medical or psychological concerns are identified. The findings also come as the detainee population has increased, creating more pressure on detention staff, medical contractors, and oversight systems. Families of detainees, immigration attorneys, and advocacy groups are likely to push for more transparency around medical care, staffing levels, suicide prevention policies, and facility inspections.
A new immigration policy has created concern among many people already living legally in the United States and waiting for permanent residency. The Trump administration announced guidance requiring many foreigners in temporary legal status to leave the United States and apply for a green card through consular processing in their home country, unless they qualify for exceptions. For decades, many eligible applicants already present in the United States have used a process called adjustment of status. That process allows them to apply for lawful permanent residence without leaving the country. The new guidance appears to shift more applicants toward applying abroad, a change that could affect workers, students, families, and people with long-running immigration cases. The announcement has produced confusion because the full scope of the rule and its exceptions is not yet clear. Immigration lawyers are trying to understand which visa categories may be affected, how officers will apply the new guidance, and whether applicants with pending cases could face new questions during interviews. The policy also raises concerns for families who have jobs, children in school, homes, and years of life already established in the United States.
Parts of Europe experienced an unusually early and intense heat wave this week, with record May temperatures reported in areas of the United Kingdom, France, Spain, and Italy. According to AP reporting, the heat arrived before many seasonal safety systems were fully in place, including lifeguard coverage at some beaches and wider summer heat response operations. The heat wave brought temperatures more typical of peak summer, not late spring. London recorded extremely high May temperatures, while parts of France, Spain, and Italy also experienced dangerous conditions. Reports included suspected heat-related deaths, drownings, and medical warnings connected to outdoor activity and sports events. The broader concern is that Europe has experienced repeated heat extremes in recent years. Heat waves affect health systems, agriculture, water demand, transportation, energy use, and wildfire risk. When extreme heat arrives earlier in the season, it can also extend the total period of stress on people and infrastructure.
A new report from the World Meteorological Organization and the United Kingdom's Met Office warns that global temperatures are likely to remain at or near record levels over the next 5 years. The report projects that at least 1 year between 2026 and 2030 is very likely to exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and that the 5-year average itself has a strong chance of crossing that threshold. This does not mean the Paris Agreement limit has officially failed, because that target is measured over a longer-term average, but it does show that the planet is moving deeper into a period of sustained heat. Higher average temperatures increase the risk of extreme heat, drought, floods, wildfires, stronger storms, crop stress, and health problems. Heat can affect outdoor workers, elderly residents, children, and people without reliable cooling. It can also strain power grids as air conditioning demand rises. For governments, the report adds pressure to strengthen climate adaptation plans. That includes heat shelters, water planning, fire management, crop resilience, coastal protection, and better emergency warning systems. For the public, this story explains why weather extremes are increasingly treated as health and infrastructure issues.
In a time when addiction, stress, and social instability continue to affect families across society, the spiritual teachings of Sant Rampalji Maharaj are being followed by many devotees as a path toward disciplined, moral, and addiction-free living. Followers of Sant Rampalji Maharaj say that his teachings are not limited to prayer or religious practice alone, but also emphasize practical transformation in daily life. To become a follower, devotees are expected to follow strict rules of conduct. These include avoiding all forms of intoxication, living honestly, avoiding corruption and cheating, maintaining moral discipline, respecting family responsibilities, and following a vegetarian lifestyle. Followers are also taught not to participate in dowry practices, caste discrimination, superstition, violence, or social customs that create unnecessary financial burden. A major part of this transformation is the complete rejection of intoxicants and harmful habits. One of the most visible changes reported among followers is the shift toward a clean lifestyle. Many devotees describe giving up long-standing habits such as smoking, drinking, and tobacco use after accepting spiritual guidance. Families often report that this change improves household peace, reduces financial waste, and creates a healthier environment for children and future generations. The transformation among followers is often presented as an example of how spiritual teachings can support public health, family welfare, and moral living. Supporters believe that when individuals become free from addiction and harmful habits, the benefit extends beyond one person and reaches the family, community, and society at large. This movement highlights a broader message. True spiritual practice is not only about belief, but also about living a disciplined, peaceful, and responsible life.
And that wraps up this week's bulletin. Thank you for joining SA News, and we'll see you next week. Truth that you want to know.